up ICE's presence in New Orleans, how local officials are responding.
And gas prices are steadily dropping, why prices have hit a record low.
And in sports, Ohio men's basketball hosts Maine, looking for their first win in nearly a month. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Parker Davis. Welcome to Newswatch. It is pretty cold out there today. Isabel, give us some updates about what's going on.
Yeah, it has been pretty cold. Yesterday we had that snow, and so today having those temperatures all throughout about that freezing mark keeps that snow on the ground. We're going to see last night we made it to 27 for our low, and then as that sun came up, as we got to about midday, we made it to our high of 31. Right now, just a little bit below that, we are at 30 here in Athens, and all throughout southeast Ohio, we are kind of wavering around that 30-degree mark. As we head more northwest, you're seeing those temperatures getting even lower, and those lower temperatures, they're headed for us here in southeast Ohio. We're seeing currently, like I said, 30 degrees. We do have that wind at 6 miles per hour, which is giving us our wind chill of about 24 degrees out there. We're going to be seeing that wind kind of start to die down as we head into the night, but we will start to see those temperatures start to really cool down with that low of 23. That 50% chance of snow, that snow is going to be very light, and it is going to be giving us that special weather statement for your early morning commute tomorrow. How much more of that snow that we'll get and how those temperatures are starting to cool down, that'll be in my full forecast. Let's take it back over to Charlie.
Thanks, Isabel. The state of Ohio is advised to improve driver safety laws according to the Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety. The group says nearly 12,000 drivers have died in crashes in Ohio in the last decade, 1,160 deaths last year alone. The AAAS also finds that car crashes cost the Buckeye State over $12 billion each year. The group says Ohio needs to implement motorcycle helmet laws, laws that require babies to sit rear-facing car seats, and stronger seatbelt laws. Ohio is one of 36 states AHAS is asking to improve driver safety laws. Athens announces the list of events for the annual Uptown for the Holidays community tree lighting. The festivities will begin at 6 p.m. this Friday and last until 8. The highlight of the night will be the lighting of the Christmas tree, but there will be plenty more activities for all ages. You can meet St. Nick at Santa's Workshop and hitch a ride on horse-drawn wagon right after. 13 businesses in Uptown Athens will be putting on additional events. A full list can be found on AthensChamber.com. And if you can't find any quarters for the parking at the event, don't worry. Athens announced earlier today that parking will be free this weekend in the Uptown parking garage starting Friday at 4 p.m. There's also a few more days this month where parking in the garage will be free of charge, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. However, the 2-hour metered spots on the upper level 1 will not be free. To top it all off, people will be allowed to leave their cars in the same spot for more than 24 hours from December 14th to midnight, Sunday, January 12th.
The Department of Homeland Security announced the start of the anticipated immigration operation in New Orleans today, dubbing it Operation Kowloon Crunch. Meanwhile, Minnesota is also set to begin to focus on undocumented Somali immigrants, according to a federal official. Ivan Rodriguez reports.
As anticipated, the Department of Homeland Security launched a federal law enforcement surge in New Orleans, Louisiana, dubbed Operation Kowloon Crunch by the agency, named after the officially recognized state dog of Louisiana.
We're talking about child pedophiles who are on our list of targets, burglars, gang members, rapists. Those individuals we are highly targeting, and we will continue whether it be 5,000 arrests or beyond.
The Trump administration's latest immigration crackdown was prompted by the shooting of 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. New Orleans Mayor-elect Helena Moreno says fear has swept across the city.
What they're seeing is what appears to be racial profiling of brown people, and then going after these individuals and treating them like they are these significantly violent offenders.
Activists say there's worry in the community. And as a new ICE operation unfolds in Minnesota, targeting undocumented Somali immigrants, according to a federal official, President Trump ramped up attacks against the community amid an investigation into allegations of pandemic relief fraud in the state up to $2 billion.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? We could go one way or the other, and We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin defended the administration's targeting of Somali immigrants, citing data showing fraud.
There's widespread fraud, particularly marriage fraud when it comes to immigration. We're looking at criminality here.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth risked endangering American troops by sharing sensitive war plans, according to sources who are familiar with a classified Inspector General report. These findings were sent to Congress yesterday, and an unclassified version is set to be made public tomorrow. The report says Pete Hegseth potentially endangered troops and mission objectives when he used the Signal app back in March, sharing highly sensitive information about planned military strikes in Yemen. The Inspector General's report says Hegseth shouldn't have used Signal and that senior Defense Department officials needed better training on protocols. About 32,000 private sector jobs were lost in November, according to ADP. The payroll giant says that's a significant drop from the 47,000 positions that were gained the month before, and it's below the 40,000 jobs that most economists had predicted. The estimates from ADP come from client information and don't always match the U.S. government's monthly jobs data. The government's jobs report for November was originally scheduled to come out Friday, but it is delayed until mid-December.
Consumers looking for some slack in their budgets this holiday season may be able to find it at the gas pumps. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look at what's driving prices to their lowest levels in years.
A holiday treat for drivers.
We haven't seen gas prices this low since 2021, and we could continue to see that trend as we head into the holiday season.
AAA said the nationwide average for a gallon of regular gasoline dipped below the $3 mark this week for the first time since May 2021. And in some states, the average is even lower.
You've got high supply, lower demand. You've got a lower gasoline blend that's cheaper to produce. You combine all of that, you're going to get lower gas prices.
The major driver of gas prices, crude oil prices, has dropped significantly. In December 2022, 10 months after Russia invaded Ukraine and destabilized the global oil market, U.S. oil prices were around $81 per barrel. Lately, they're hovering around and below the $60 mark.
Crude oil prices this year have been relatively stable and relatively low. When you look at the national average across the board, starting in January of this year, it's been pretty much a flat line all year long, and that's very rare.
Both the U.S. and OPEC have upped their oil production in recent months, adding more supply to outpace demand. Another contributing factor, most pumps right now are filled with winter blend gasoline, which costs less to produce. And with the exception of the busy winter holiday periods, overall demand typically falls during winter. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Coming up in sports, Ohio men's basketball is back at the Convo. We're live out here as they need to get back on track. Catch a preview and more when we return.
And as temperatures continue to drop, find out how you can stay safe this winter.
Temperatures are really on the low, and we're going to continue to see that snow all throughout southeast Ohio. Next on Newswatch.
Miss Austin. Miss
Scarlett.
Miss Austen was sister to the great lady novelist Jane Austen.
What's she doing here?
My name's...
I know exactly who you are.
The lady detective. Miss Scarlett, isn't it?
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett!
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Come along. So happy you're home, darling. We're doing a brand new musical.
Fabulous.
Charlie's gonna help with the show. It'll be fun.
How am I meant to work under these conditions?
Now, boom!
There's a way things are done here.
This is musical theatre!
I scream into the bar.
For what it's worth, you've really got something.
Shocking, but keep going.
Make way for the Queen. The people love me. Yeah! This is not a request.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Wondering what to cook this holiday season? WOUB and Milk Street can help. On Wednesday, December 17th, join the Milk Street Cooking School team for a free live stream cooking class. The team will be cooking up some of their favorite holiday sides, including butter braised mashed potatoes and dark chocolate terrine. The class is free, but space is limited. Go online today to register.
Welcome to sports. I'm Grant Kiefer. It's been a while since we've done this. This is the first time the Bobcats have been at the Convo in 2 weeks. Tonight they take on Maine. It's been the first time the Bobcats have played in 8 days. Let's just say they needed this break. Simply put, Ohio has not been playing good basketball as of late. The Bobcats are on a 5-game losing streak, and last week was the worst possible result from the Sunshine Slam, finishing in last. The struggles go beyond that as well, as the Bobcats couldn't beat Bethune-Cookman at home and lost to St. Mary's and Louisville prior. The numbers aren't great either. Numbers don't lie, and here's where Ohio's struggling right now. They're allowing teams to light them up from three. They don't shoot the three well themselves. They're shooting an abysmal 66% from the free throw line. They allow other teams to dominate them on the glass and both sides of the ball, and their effective field goal percentage, they aren't taking smart shots either. There's a chance to turn things around, though. Maine comes into tonight's contest 0-9 on the season. Head coach Jeff Bowles has only beaten Marshall once in his tenure here, but a win could flip the momentum big time, and St. Bonaventure will give this team a chance to compete with an NCAA tournament-level team at a MAC play starting on December 20th. All right, no football games this week, unfortunately, but today's a really big day across the sport. Early National Signing Day is here. Let's just say the Bobcats have put a lot of pen to paper this afternoon. Brandon Jenkins is Ohio's highest-rated signee out of Illinois. Interim head coach John Hauser says he's a huge playmaker and impacts the game with his versatility. Malachi Taylor is the brother of exciting freshman running back Michael Taylor. He's expected to play defense. Last name to keep an eye on is Caden Page. He's tough and can fight for yards after contact, according to receivers coach Andre Allen. Here's how the MAC stacks up for now in the early signing window. Ohio's a little lower than expected at 8th, but the Bobcats are known for attacking the transfer portal. Toledo sits atop the conference as of now, with Eddie George's Falcons in second. It's been a little over 48 hours since Brian Smith was put on leave by the university, and there are still more questions than answers. Here's our most recent update. WOUB spoke to Smith's attorney yesterday, and they claim Smith was asked to go home in the middle of the day on Monday. The attorney said no charges or allegations have been brought in front of Smith at this time, and they deny any wrongdoing. The attorney also stated they will fight any allegations that are brought against him. His attorney also informed us that Smith is on paid leave. The university and athletic department declined to comment. For all updates regarding the Brian Smith saga and updates from the game tonight, go ahead and follow us on all of our socials at Bobcat Showcase. Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio.
So I know winter can be pretty dreary, especially when there's no snow on the ground or just no leaves in general, no greenery, but it's been pretty happy to be able to see all the snow on the ground. Yeah.
Definitely, like right after Thanksgiving, it's kind of like the perfect time to get some snow, getting into that winter feeling. And we're going to continue to see that snow on the ground just because our temperatures aren't going to be much below that 32-degree mark, which keeps our snow kind of keeping it pretty there on the ground. You're seeing on our local radar, we are in a clearing. We didn't get any more of that snow today. And we're not going to get very much snow as we head into tomorrow. We're seeing that we're going to see our temperatures in our 30s right now. Right now, Athens sitting right at 30. We do have some pretty strong winds at 6 miles per hour. Those should start to calm down, but right now we're seeing that wind chill 24. That's what it feels like out there. So you're definitely going to need to bundle up, and especially as we head into tonight with that overnight low of 27, starting to see those overnight lows kind of slowly start to cool down, and especially as we head into your Friday night, we're going to be really seeing those start to get into those teens. That's why we have this special weather statement. For tonight, we do have that slight chance of some snow, and with that snow still on the ground, our cooler temperatures, you might have to add a couple minutes to your morning commute. Having that snow on the ground kind of get a little bit icy out there on those roads with a little bit of that chance for some snow, you're definitely going to need to have a couple extra minutes for your morning commute, especially earlier than about that 8 a.m. mark. As we head into the radar, we're going to be seeing that we have this high pressure system setting up with us. That is why as we head a little bit more north, you're going to see a little bit of that chance for some snow today. But for us in southeast Ohio, that high pressure has kind of kept anything away. And right now we are ahead of a cold front. So that means that we're going to have a little bit warmer temperatures than we're going to be seeing in these next couple days. We're going to be having that high pressure system really set up 12 hours ahead, a clear morning, and then having those temperatures kind of warm up just a little bit, but it's kind of hard to say because it is still going to be into those 30s. And once we see that 24 hours ahead, that's whenever that cold front fully moves through, and that's whenever those temperatures really start to dip down. We're going to be getting those cooler temperatures from Canada. We're going to see that temperature low for tomorrow, 12 degrees. You're seeing that before we get hit with that cold front being a little bit above freezing, and then we're going to have that 20 degree kind of jump down as we head into overnight lows. With that 60% chance of snow, it is just that light dusting, looking like mostly in your early morning. And then as we head into 36 hours, we're still going to have that high pressure impacting us, that light chance for some snow. And then we're really going to start to clear up. Our temperatures will start to slowly increase once again as we get a little bit more moisture up from the south. But we will continue to see kind of having those mid to low 30s for these next few days, and then start to warm up once again and have a chance for rain as we head into next week. So these next few days, you're definitely going to need to bundle up. 33 with that low of 12, and as we head into the weekend, starting to warm up once again, being at that almost 40-degree mark. And then as we head into this time next week, going to have that chance for some rain once again for your Wednesday. So for these next few days, we're going to see that snow still continuing to be on the ground. But once we get to Saturday and Sunday, might be a little dreary out there. That snow should be melting, and then having those highs of those 30s, everything is going to be a little bit gloomy as we head into the rest of the month. Let's take it back over to the desk.
Thank you, Isabel. The dropping temperatures aren't only uncomfortable, but the winter weather can also be dangerous, even deadly. Mandy Gaither has a few simple reminders on how to stay safe in cold conditions.
When the temperature falls, the danger rises. In 2023, more than 1,000 deaths in the U.S. were due to excessive cold or hypothermia. And in the months ahead, experts are urging everyone to stay safe.
Winter weather can be extremely dangerous in so many ways.
The American Red Cross says if you do go out in extremely cold weather, wear layers of loose clothing and a coat, hat, mittens, and water-resistant boots. Using a scarf to cover your face and mouth can also help. And inside, if you use a space heater or fireplace, keep anything that could catch fire at least 3 feet away from the heat. And to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning, don't use an oven to warm your home and only use generators outdoors.
This past year, the Red Cross has responded to more than 48,000 home fires. And this time of year in particular, a lot of that is caused because people are just trying to stay warm.
You should also know signs of potentially deadly hypothermia, including shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech, and drowsiness. When it comes to frostbite, symptoms can include a white or grayish yellow skin area, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, and numbness.
Make sure to get out of the cold immediately and to seek medical attention urgently.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Next on Newswatch, we welcome 3 reporters from The Post at Ohio University for a special live segment about their recent story about the local efforts to tackle the opioid epidemic.
We'll be right back, but until then, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X to stay up to date on all the news in Southeast Ohio. And stay tuned for a new episode of The Wrap-Up coming Friday.
They make an unmistakable sound. But woodpeckers are incredibly varied. And these charismatic birds drum in almost every forest, everywhere in the world. Think you know the woodpecker? Think again. This is The Whole Story.
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
Into the great wild
we are a part of a revolution.
That, for me, is so exciting. Everyone's so happy you're home, darling. Come inside. It's just so exciting. It's a real treat.
What an amazing family.
Let's get this show on the road!
That sounds like a party.
Marvelous.
Will I get presents?
Oh, I love this!
The opioid epidemic is an ongoing issue in the U.S. with thousands affected across the country, but it's hit Ohio especially hard. In 2023, Ohio had more than 4,000 unintentional drug overdose deaths.
The Post recently received a grant to cover the ongoing efforts to curb the opioid epidemic in Southeast Ohio. Just last week, the Post released their first story detailing what Athens and Ohio University are doing to address the opioid epidemic. And now they join us with their findings. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. So just tell us a little bit about each of your involvement in this project.
I'm Ethan Herks. I mostly did visuals for this story and for the solutions projects more generally. I did the photos. I also designed the map of all the resources in Athens County.
Yeah, and speaking of those local resources, what are some resources that people might not know about?
Yeah, so there are a lot of different Narcan resources throughout Athens County. There's Recovery Connections, both here and in Athens and also in Nelsonville. There's HAPCAP, also in Nelsonville, and then they have a location in Gloucester. The Athens City County Health Department out on West Union Street. Integrated Services, they're just off of East State Street here in Athens. And then OU has quite a few. They specifically only have Narcan boxes at both the dining halls, Boyd and Nelson, as well as Baker University Center, Ping, and Alden Library.
Great, and so just tell us a little bit about how OU is addressing these issues and if they've faced any obstacles with this implementation.
Yeah, so in addition to those Narcan boxes that Ethan mentioned, they also have a Narcan training program. But the biggest obstacle with this is that there's just a lack of awareness and people don't know that they offer this training. And then that OU training is only for students and staff, so it differs a little bit from the other resources that Athens provides.
Yeah, and speaking of Narcan, what are some misconceptions people might have about it?
Yeah, so a big misconception is that when somebody's carrying Narcan, others might assume that they're carrying it for themselves or that somebody that they know uses and they're having it on hand for that. But a lot of times people just want to carry it just to be prepared.
Yes, and now the story is part of the Post special coverage about the opioid epidemic supported by a grant. Can you just tell us about this organization that you guys are working with?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm the managing editor at the Post, and myself and the 3 other executive team members in the spring, we applied for this grant through the Solutions Journalism Network. It's an organization that was founded in 2013, and they're kind of the leading force driving a push for solutions journalism, which is basically the idea of reporting on solutions to problems instead of just the problems themselves. So we got this grant along with 7 other newsrooms across the country. We're all part of the Student Media Challenge, and we all have been assigned to produce 10 solution stories throughout the course of the year, and this has been our first one.
Yeah, so how is the Post going about solution-oriented journalism, and what's next for the project?
Yeah, so we're dividing our 10 stories into the opioid project. So this was the first one. We have 4 more coming. One of them is going to be comparing the opioid responses in other college campuses in Appalachia. And then we also have 5 other stories coming out soon. One about the maternity desert in Athens, one about the Little Cities of Black Diamonds, and we're just going to keep pitching and finding these stories to report on as the year continues.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And for more information, you can read the Post full story on their website through the link on your screen.
Still ahead, Spotify has announced their top artist of the year. Find out who came number 1. And here's a look at what's coming up next on your public television station.
I'm jumping with joy right now.
On Finding Your Roots, actors Tony Danza.
I do feel solid, like I have a history.
And Terry Crews.
I'm actually connected to my past.
Ancestors who led hard, scrabble lives.
Well, it wasn't even about livelihood, it was about eating.
Struggling toward a better future.
Nobody ever talks about this in our school books.
Man, this is a movie. This is a movie.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
I am in favor of closing the libraries until we find a solution to the pornographic filth we do have.
We have librarians who are misunderstanding what is healthy for children.
It didn't dawn on us that we would come under attack.
There was a list of 850 books.
We were told, get rid of them.
This can't be America.
The Librarians, Monday, February 9th at 10/9 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
Feel wonder wherever we are.
It was kind of a moment of enlightenment.
So come get lost with me. We'll see the great unknown.
It's home to me. Wow, that's beautiful.
We could be the greatest story ever told.
When we all work together, we make change. I still believe in that.
I'm excited. You my hero, you know that, right?
Thank you.
Most people believe that doctors are healers.
Love is why we're here.
Life goes fast,
Our story is everyone's story.
but it's just the start.
Bad Bunny has claimed Spotify's top spot this year. The Puerto Rican rapper is Spotify Rap's top global artist for 2025. His album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, was named the top album of the year worldwide. Bad Bunny will also start off 2026 with something special to add to his resume. He'll perform the Super Bowl halftime show, which is expected to include a multilingual signing featuring Puerto Rican Sign Language. Taylor Swift came in the runner-up slot on Spotify's list, followed by The Weeknd, Drake, and Billie Eilish. Well, what was your number one artist this year, guys?
I had to say Sabrina Carpenter and her album Short and Sweet. It just, I don't know, she's very upbeat. She's just a happy artist, and I love it.
Well, Short and Sweet, you had to listen to it a lot to,
absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Okay, so what was your top artist this year?
Mine was Taylor Swift. I've been a fan. I think this is like the third or fourth year that she's been my number one artist, and I don't even think that I listen to her that much. I'd be like, oh yeah, I went through that week that I just listened to only the new album over and over.
Yeah, sometimes you get surprised, because you're just on one thing for so long. And it's really, for me it was Circle. If you like indie rock out there, give her a listen. But,
I'll have to listen to that.
What hasn't been Short and Sweet as well? This weather, it's been sticking around for a while. So
it's been sticking around, and it's been very cold. We're going to be seeing those temperatures continue to cool down. We're going to have that overnight low of 23. We won't see that wind stick around that we've been having throughout the day. If anything, we will start to see that wind kind of lessen as we head out into tomorrow morning. That 50% chance of snow does look like a light dusting as we head into tomorrow morning as well, and that is why we have this special weather statement. That is for all of Ohio and as we head into West Virginia and other areas. So if you are having that early morning commute, you will have to be a little bit cautious out there. We are going to be looking like your roads could be a little bit slick for your morning commute. And as we head throughout the next 7 days, we will continue to see those temperatures start to rise as we head into the weekend.
that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Isabel Isco and Grant Kiefer, I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Parker Davis. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.